What up? It's your boy Nick Incredible, man. And yes, I am back at it again. And this is 911 Lone Star Season 3, Episode 16, discussion / review, titled Shiftless. Let's talk about it, man.
I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings, I'ma be fine.
Being 100%. Lately, I've got a little annoyed of the Owen-centric storylines. But I gotta say, man, this week, they really hit the nail on the head, man. This was a great episode for Owen and for Wyatt and Judd, man. I really loved the dynamic, with the whole father-son aspect, because we know that Owen was feeling some type of way about his father, but we get to see the root cause of him having, such a disdain for clowns and all of his rage issues and stuff. And we see that there's a very legitimate reason for all of this, and that's that he lost his brother, and it was sort of kind of his fault. Now, we don't feel that way, but he feels that it was kind of his fault. And, because he took his brother out there with him, he let his brother come out there, and boom, bam, it happened. So he feels that he's responsible for their family splitting up, and he blamed his dad, and he feels responsible for losing his brother. And we see how he kind of intensely stared at the clown on the wallpaper. So we see that, like, all of this stuff, it was deeply rooted in Owen, and we see that this was very traumatic for him, man. And we see that this episode, he was having a hard time even just trying to confront his father, even though he is on his deathbed. He was having a hard time even just trying to confront him. And I actually really feel sorry for Owen, man, because going back and seeing what happened, we see how it messed with Owen, man. It messed with him bad, and we see the tragedy, and he feels like everything revolving around that incident just led to their family just being, disbanded, or well, I want to say disbanded, but, being pulled apart, and him not being able to save it, and him kind of being the cause of it. And we know he's not to blame, but he felt that way. And this episode was really hard for Owen, man. We see him calling TK just to try to psych himself up and reassure himself. And we see how he was traumatized a little bit when he first went to California to just be out there near the ocean. You know what I'm saying? It messed him up deeply. But we see that he gets to the hospital, he sees his father, and he comes in contact with his brother. Now, the funny thing is, that's also Rob Lowe's actual brother that played his brother in the episode. You know what I'm saying? But it's sad that he lost a brother, but it's nice that he actually gained a brother as well. You know what I'm saying? Because his father ended up remarrying and having more kids and everything. So Owen got a brother, and at the end of the episode, after he talked to his father, and his father, pretty much forgave him, but he has to forgive himself first. His brother told him, don't be a stranger, stay in contact. So that was really good for Owen. And I know normally we get tired of the Owen-centric episodes, but it was really good for Owen this week, man. And at the end of the episode, we see him on the water catching a wave. So that was huge for Owen, and we get to see that development for his character. Now, the Judd aspect, man. So Wyatt ends up in jail this episode, and we learned that it's synonymous with the fact that around the time that his mom got engaged, and that Judd came into his life when he found out Judd was his father. And that kind of messed with Wyatt. And we learned that he started doing stupid stuff, tagging buildings, hanging out with the wrong group of kids. And we see that him and Judd are kind of bumping heads a little bit, and he's pissed off at Judd a little bit. Judd's pissed off at him. So they feel a certain type of way with each other. But we learn in this episode the root cause of that, and that is that he's upset that Judd missed out on his life, and he missed out on being a part of Judd's life so much. And the thing is, he's not mad at his mom, he's not mad at Judd, he's just mad in general. He just has a lot of anger, and he doesn't know where to vent that. And we see that Judd has anger as well, but Judd knows that you can't just run around and do a bunch of stuff just because you're angry. But in that moment, we see that the rattlesnake comes out and throws Judd off his horse. We see that Wyatt and Judd both kind of make a different kind of bond with each other. Wyatt calls Judd dad for the first time, without, well, I think you're my dad. He called him dad for the first time. He helped Judd. He kind of reset the bone and everything. They really connected out there, man. And normally, there's always a smidge of comedy in there somewhere. And that's what sets Lone Star apart from the original 911 series. And this week, it really was all emotional, man. We didn't have any comedy aspect. Everything was serious. From TK worrying about Owen, worried about his dad, calling TK, meeting his new brother. Like, there was a lot of emotions going on in this episode, and we see the same thing with Judd and Wyatt, them connecting, and by the end of the episode, they're having dinner. They're just having a great time, and Wyatt writes on his cast, "Get well soon. Love your son." I want to say it was "Get well soon," something about dad or son. I can't remember, honestly. Anyway, it was a nice gesture that Wyatt did that, and it made Judd feel some type of way. Great episode. Really great episode, man, for the character development for Owen, even though he gets more development than anybody. But for Owen, for Wyatt, and for Judd, even Judd's father came around. It was just a nice family affair, and I love kind of how the stories, they didn't really parallel themselves, but like they were synonymous with each other. It was a father-son situation going on with Judd and Wyatt, and with Owen and his father. So it was a very nice episode, man. I enjoyed it. I have no qualms about it. This is your boy Dick Incredible. Don't forget to smash the like button till you can't smash any more. Comment down below, and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them, and subscribe, but only if you really want to, man. Peace out.
All out, and I am here to stay right now, so don't call it